Hello makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm super excited for this video because this is going to be my indie makeup releases, which is my weekly series talking about what's new on the indie makeup market and whether I'm considering to purchase anything and just getting to share some really cool products with y'all. And then at the end I do include a few mainstream releases that caught my eye. This series is inspired by Samantha March and Angelica Nyquist, and I'm actually wearing Angelica's her merch today. Who am I? This is literally the only merch I've ever bought, but it's finally spring almost summer, so I'm like, yes, I could finally wear short sleeves. But anyways, those two ladies inspired this series, and I also leave all my Instagram accounts that I get information from down below and the community Will I Buy It playlist. So I will say before we jump in, if you like what's on my face, this is for a video coming up on Cosmetics, so I will have a tutorial soon. And also it is like 1 a.m. and you guys always tell me whenever I film at night that I'm like extra silly or goofy. So yeah, it's late because I procrastinated filming this and I don't want to film it on Saturday because then I just rushed to get it up, so it is very, very late. This is my idea of a fun Friday night. So let's just go ahead and jump right on in. Okay, so first off, Devinah Cosmetics is launching some more Multichromes. They did the original set, which was like all like warm bases, and then they did a set that was like two like more purpley bluey ones, which look beautiful, and I am tempted to purchase those. But now they're coming out with these, which should be launching at the time that you're seeing this video, and they are like some more like all different kind of color ones, and I believe that these are like $9 each or $10 each, which is a pretty good price for a multi-chrome shadow, and it's pressed, and I believe that all of their shadows are like in like the circular like 26mm pans, which is personally what I prefer. I love to have all the things look the same, so I am definitely intrigued by these. They are on my wish list for the future, but I don't see purchasing them right now just because, you guys, I'm sad to admit, but I already made 2 of my purchases for May. That's what kind of week it's been. Alright, next is some single shadows that just launched from Colored Raine, and these look beautiful. So first is Paradise Isle, and this is like a really pretty like teal shadow, and it looks like it has glitter, and it looks really, really stunning and gorgeous. And I've kind of been trying out some of the Colored Raine single shadows, like the metallic shades, so I am definitely intrigued by this. And then they also came out with a shade called Sea Breeze, which is like a powder blue shimmer, and this also looks really beautiful. I feel like this one I could dupe easily. I don't know, Paradise Isle just really caught my eye, so I figured I would share those with y'all really quickly. Next is a little sneak peek from Menagerie Cosmetics, and they said the next micro palette, and we don't even have the colors to guess, but they have a little sketch here, and it shows an octopus, and there's like some squid and fish, and it looks to be obviously in the ocean. Where else would a octopus be? But I am kind of intrigued by this. I'm thinking maybe this will have like some red or purple tones. That is my guess. So very, very excited to see what their next micro palette is. It's only 6 shades if it's the same as the previous micro palette, which I think is perfect sizing. Super cute packaging, so I can't wait to see the color reveal. Alright, next, I am so excited about this. This is the new Glaminatrix Cosmetics eyeshadow bundle, and this is called Sandra's Favorites, and it is 9 blue eyeshadows, and I did buy this because I have wanted to try Glaminatrix ever since I saw their first swatch picture on their Instagram. It was beautiful. Like, they just look to have the most amazing metallic shades. They are an indie brand based in Australia, and I have been wanting to make a purchase. I've just been waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect item, and I've been really curious because they've been teasing a palette called Sandra Rose, and I think the packaging looks beautiful. They sneak peeked one of the shades. It looked absolutely so cool. It was like a really pretty like iridescent light duochrome shade, and it looks like legitimately holographic, so I'm super excited to see what that palette ends up being completely. And so basically the story is that palette, they kept asking people like what they wanted to see in it, and they were doing the palette. Oh wait, actually let me just read this off to you. You can go to their Instagram and read the entire story if you would like to. I'm not going to do that because I'm a big baby and I'll probably cry, but the owner's mother was named Sandra, and that was the inspiration behind the palette, and her mother passed away in 2012 from cancer. She was only 18. I can't imagine, like, I can't imagine a world without my mom, so man, I told you guys. So she said that she will be donating $5 Australian from every palette to a charity. She's not sure yet if it's going to be a cancer charity or something for kids, because that's something her mom would have liked or have wanted. So the owner was asking what colors people wanted to see in the actual palette, and the shade blue in general did not make it into the palette, but that was her mom's favorite color. So she decided to go ahead and do a Sandra's favorite, a blue bundle, which I think is so sweet and touching. So I purchased it, like I said, and I'm so excited to try out the brand. The shades in the bundle look really beautiful. There is a good mix of like light and deep, and I feel like I'm just so excited to try out their metallics in general. Like the metallic shades look absolutely beautiful. That shade Ice Cold, the shade Arctic, actually every single shade. I'm excited for every single shade in here. And part of me is like, you don't really need any more blues. I feel like I am blued out. Like I like blues. I like them with other looks, but I wouldn't say that it's the first color I reach for, but I was just super drawn to this bundle, super excited to try Glaminatrix, and also I think I actually ended up purchasing this like 2 days before May even started, because I was like, ooh, that's beautiful, and I went on the website. I wasn't sure if I was going to purchase it or not, because I'm like, it's not technically May, but they had a promo code that was still working, which basically took care of the price of shipping. So I was like, oh, it's the perfect timing. I don't want it to sell out. Like I was just super excited. You can definitely expect a video on those in the future. Not sure how long it'll be with international shipping and everything, but very, very happy with that purchase decision. I'm actually so excited. I really want to go back and look at my video that I did, which was like all the brands I wanted to try this year, because I feel like I'm actually working my way through the list, and it's been a lot of fun. So next is a new palette from Andy Candy Makeup, and this is the Cupcake Cat eyeshadow palette, and this is super cute. Like the reveal picture was super cute because it had I believe his name is Andy. He was holding like an oven tray, and it had like the palettes on there, and it was like what was the saying? It was like something baking wise, like out of the oven, what's fresh from the oven. It was like what's fresh from the oven, and it was super cute little reveal, and I love the packaging. Like it's very like kitty, but still cute, and like I'm not against like kitty packaging. So as far as the actual colors goes, I feel like it is pretty. There's like a mix of cool tones, there's some really bright springy shades, and I like it overall. I also like that there is a mixture of mattes and shimmers, because previously he did a full shimmer palette and then a full matte palette, which I still need to play with the full matte palette. I'm a mess, I'm so behind, but I am excited to try that palette out. It's not jumping out to me as something I need to buy. I feel like I could probably dupe kind of like the vibes really easily, but I do think it's cute. All right, next, you guys, I don't know if I've ever been tagged in something more in my life. This is the new Give Me Glow Cosmetics Juicy Olive palette, which is launching 6/1, so it's going to be in June, and I don't know how to feel about this. It is $30, which, you know, it's really not bad at all considering it is an indie brand and they're really big pans. I do like the color scheme. I like it. I do like it. But the person in me who's trying to be a smart consumer, like that person very, 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 very deep down is like, you have these shades. So I don't know. I really want to try Give Me Glow. I do like the packaging. I like the shades. I just feel like I could dupe this very easily. So this is going to be one of those like open-ended things where I'm going to ask you guys, like, please, if you want to see me review this and you really want to see my thoughts on it, you want me to compare it to other green palettes, let me know and I will get it, because I do like it. And if I can add the fact like I like it and like people want to see it on my channel, like add them together, I can make it work. I can do it as one of my purchases for June. But if you're like over it, you don't even care about it, if you don't want to hear my thoughts on it, then that'll help make my decision easier. So I think it's pretty. I really do, like, I like it, but I feel like at this point, it's like if this had come out like 3-6 months ago, I think everyone would have been all over it, but now there's like quite a few things coming out like this, so I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Please let me know. Actually, you know what? I said that was one of the most things I've ever been like tagged in, but this might be up there, and this is probably the weirdest tags I've ever gotten, because like my Instagram feed was just like, oh my god, you're right, it's a vulva, which sounds pretty weird without context. Oh my gosh, okay. Obviously, I'll have the picture on screen, but Maeder Makeup Labs is an indie brand that is all focused on like medical names, and they've done some funny ones in the past. You can just scroll through their website and see the different ones. They've done like different like equipment and like viruses and just different things that I thought were funny and I appreciate. And they teased that they were coming out with a lady parts collection, and last week I was like, oh my gosh, can you guys imagine like I'm putting vulva in my crease? Like that would be a little interesting. And that's a shade name. That is a shade name. So you can see it here, and it was really interesting to see people's thoughts on this. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people think it's empowering, some people think it's degrading. I mean, either way, I guess they are smart, because I definitely got people talking. It's a little scandalous, but not really. Like, I feel like for me personally, like the names, like I don't want to get demonetized to start off with, and I'm just like, it's one of those things I've said in the past where I kind of go like a ha-ha, but it's not like ha-ha, I'm gonna buy it kind of thing. So the names don't really matter that much to me. Although I will say I was trying to think, like, because I was not really a fan of the collection that Erica something did with Too Faced that was like extremely over-sexualized. And I'm trying to like decipher where I see the difference, and I guess with this it does kind of fit their theme because everything they do is medical, and some of these are more medical terms, some of them not quite as much, but overall they are, you can kind of relate it. So I don't know, I'm just trying to think about it. Like, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I was just, you know, some things bother us, some things don't. It's just human nature. So like I said, feel free to let me know what you think down below. Next is a pretty palette from Lux Beauty. This is the new Sweet Summertime palette, and it should be available now at the time you're seeing this. And this is really cute, actually. It's a 9-pan palette from Lux Beauty, and I wasn't expecting this because they just came out with a palette not that long ago, so it was kind of like, I just wasn't expecting them to come out with another palette so soon. But I do really like the size and the packaging, and I think I do like the color scheme. If I'm being honest, I mean, it is kind of like a warm neutral palette with a pop of blue, but I feel like there's just something about it. Like, it has like corals and orange and pinky shades, and I'm so into pinks right now, it's not even funny. Like, I want them on my eyes at all times, so I guess I am more drawn to this. I actually do really like this, like, a lot. Like, this seems like the perfect summertime palette, but also at the same time I feel like any look I could do with this I could do with something else, so I don't see myself purchasing it, but I do really like it overall. I think it's really pretty, and I very much dig the vibes of this palette. Next is the Glamlight Taco palette, which it will be available for pre-order May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, which is today. Ooh, today when you're watching it, I'm gonna make tacos for dinner because, you know, I have to celebrate, even though they're not really that great. When I lived in Texas, I lived on the border basically. Like, I was so close to Juarez, and I had the best tacos ever. If you are in El Paso ever, go to Casita Linda. It is the best tacos you will ever eat in your life, and I swear it ruined all other tacos for me. So I mean, I still love eating tacos, but it's just, once you've had the best, nothing else compares. Anyways, this taco palette, I don't plan on purchasing personally because they do sell mink lashes, but I don't know. I mean, I like it. I feel like it does kind of have like a lot of like spice to it. Like, there's something about it that seems very like festive, and it kind of goes, and I can see why like it's not like exactly what you would imagine a taco palette to be, because they are trying not to repeat shades, and they did a pizza palette and they did a burger palette, and now they've got a taco palette. So it's like, how many toppings can you have without being repetitive? So I understand if it's not exactly what people would imagine. I do like it overall. I don't think I would purchase it either way, just because it's not really my color scheme. I'm not really super inspired by it, but I do like the names. They make me really hungry, actually. I'm super hungry out of nowhere right now, and I'm trying to do my best not to eat really late at night. because that's a bad habit and I've been doing good, but I'm really hungry in this moment. Alright, next is some new Vivid Shimmers from Terra Cosmetics, which are launching also the day that you were seeing this, and these look beautiful. They showed a few sneak peek swatches real quick and they look stunning. They look like super intense shimmers, which I am all about. A really nice metallic, and the one shade that they showed looked like almost like a blue-green duochrome, super pretty. So I think these look nice, although not going to be buying because there's just too many beautiful things right now that I'm like having to be selective. So next is some new lipsticks from Ruvé Cosmetics, maybe Ruvé because they have an accent on the E. I believe that this is a brand new Australian-based indie brand, and I think the packaging on this is super cute. They've got 5 different liquid lipsticks here, and I don't see myself purchasing anything because I'm like, I have way too many liquid lipsticks, and yeah, but I do think like the little packaging on the front, it's not that different, but there's just something about it that I thought was kind of cute and eye-catching. And of course I wish them all the best with their first liquid lipstick launch, and that it goes well, but I don't need any more liquid lipsticks, which brings me to the next launch that I have to talk about, which is from JayJayCosmetics, which is again 3 new matte liquid lipsticks, and these are going to be $11 each, and I believe that they are already available right now. They have some codes for free shipping also if you want to check out their page. And they came out with 3 shades. I believe Frances is inspired by the owner's grandmother, and then there is Bare Bones, which is like a pinky nude, and then there is Brick House, which is like a deeper kind of like rusty nude shade. And I think that these look pretty. I think from the swatches they look pretty opaque and like very like smooth, but I don't need any more liquid lipsticks. I really don't. I'm trying not to buy any more lipstick unless it's something I know I will wear all the time, because I had a moment where I was like, I've never used up a lipstick, so I need to stop buying them for real. Okay, I think that is all. Wait, no. We've got one more little indie sneak peek, and this is from Juvia's place. They've got a setup at Ulta, and it says the Nubian 3 Coral. Yes, I am so excited. I'm so here for the coral and the spring looks, and I love Juvia's place. So very, very excited, although that makes me a little like anxious because Juvia's place, like they tend to just drop things out of nowhere, like palettes, and it's like sells out super quick, and like they just do it and they don't really announce it beforehand. So I'm kind of like, when are they gonna launch it? When is it gonna be available? I don't know. Actually, you know what, if it's on Ulta quick, I have Ulta points. Maybe I'll buy it with that. That doesn't count for my low buy rules, does it, if I use Ulta points? So we'll see, but I am super intrigued. And now I think that is all the indie products that we had to talk about today. Actually, I have maybe 2 more indie. I'm just going to go ahead and go through the way that I have it screenshotted in my phone. Next is the Natasha Nona Tan Palette. And I have to say I was really disappointed in this because although this is completely different than the Bloom palette, the Bloom was more like blushes and it was like really pinky, reddy, like completely different spectrums. I felt like the Bloom was very, very like towards a medium skin tone. And then you look at this tan palette and it is, again, I feel like towards a medium tan skin tone. So I personally wish that she would have done a little face palette like this that was either catering towards super deep dark skin tones or catering towards fair skin tones instead of another palette that hits right in the middle. I feel like people with medium skin tones, like all the palettes like seem to like just fit, and then like people who are super dark, people who are super light, it's like you can use like one shade, maybe one shade will work for you. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed to see the shade range of this, and it's definitely not something I plan on buying. I hope I turned my mic on. Dear God, thank you, I did. Okay, hallelujah. Okay, next is a little announcement from Twofaced. Just wanted to mention this really quickly. This is their Born This Way concealer. They now have a total of 35 shades. There's 15 new shades. I am so excited about this because this is one of the things I have on my list of things I want to purchase whenever my low buy finishes. I know I keep saying like I just want to use Tarte Shape Tape, but there's something about this that intrigues me. Like if it's more like dewy, I don't know, something about dewy under eyes kind of intrigues me, but also I always say with powder, so I don't know. but I just really want to try this, and I do like the Born This Way foundation, although I dropped my bottle and it was a whole mess and now I don't have it. I have it in a little cup, but I never use it and it kind of dried out. So basically I'm super excited about the expansion because I have felt for a while that the lightest shade would be too deep on me, because I tried, the lightest shade was Swan, and I remember trying that in their foundation, which was too deep for me. So I figure the concealer, if it's like basically the same shade, it would not work for me at all. So now I'm excited because the lightest shade looks super light. I might be like the second or third lightest shade because I'm not really into like super white under eyes anymore. I used to love that look, like doing the lightest concealer that I possibly could and then a white powder, but I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm going for more natural look these days as far as skin goes. So yeah, I'm super excited about this. I don't plan on purchasing it anytime soon, but I feel like it's right up my alley, and I'm working really hard to get through the concealers in my collection, so there will be space for this at the end of 2019. Next is another indie release technically, and this is from Dominique Cosmetics, and I don't like this at all. This is their new Prisma Glow palette, and it has 4 highlighters, 1 is a balm and 3 powders, and it's $36. The price isn't horrible and the packaging looks kind of pretty, but the problem with the packaging is there is like literally so much wasted space. I feel like it's like something where you're like trying to do something different, and but like the way that the pans are, like there's just so much extra space around. I don't really love the way that looks. I also just feel like I haven't done this rant in a while, so maybe it won't be as repetitive, but I just don't like highlighter palettes or face palettes when everything is all together, where it's like there's one shade for a light skin tone, one shade for a medium skin tone, and one shade for a deep skin tone. Because most people, unless they're a makeup artist, if they buy that palette, they're only going to get use out of one shade. Maybe they'll be able to mix 2 shades together, but overall I feel like if I bought this, I would maybe be able to use the balm and the lightest shade, but like the other ones would be too deep for me. And I could kind of sell myself the lie, like, oh, I'll use this as eyeshadow, but how often do I actually dip into my highlighter palettes for eyeshadow? I'm not saying anyone else doesn't, but for me personally, it just wouldn't be worth it. I dip into them for like an inner corner highlight if it's something extra super cool and special, but this I just don't think would be worth the price for me personally, no matter how beautiful they are. I would rather just get one single highlight that fits my skin tone perfectly. Alright, next is a release that I found really intriguing, and this is Uma Beauty, I believe. Not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's a brand new brand, and I've seen people start reviewing it, which I'm excited to hear everyone's thoughts on. But they have a page, like their own website, and then they are also now available on Ulta, which is awesome. I was considering using Ulta points to buy the foundation, but then I was like, no, don't do it, because I just don't want to be stuck with any foundations that I don't love. So I'm waiting to watch reviews. The thing that intrigues me the most about this is that it confirms my suspicions. So basically they kind of like, they formulated each shade range a little bit different, literally like specifically focusing on what each shade range needs. Like they said, like for like the deepest one, I think like one of the problems was like dull skin, so I think it was like they had like tomato extract or something in the really deep shades to add like more like liveliness to the skin. I didn't go through and read every single skin tone, but I did read the super fair one, and they said like the main problems are redness, which is yes, and also sensitivity. Yes, definitely for me, I feel like that's very true. And dryness, I think what they said was like the main focus. Like a lot of fair skinned people are dry, which, you know, is not like completely accurate. People can go either way, but I just felt like it was really interesting because I've said in the past that I feel like when you have a super light skin tone, I feel like the coverage goes down, like the amount of coverage, because whenever whatever product you're using, there's less pigment in it, and I feel like there's less coverage. Like I see people who have like a medium tan, deep skin tone use products, and they're like, this is full coverage, and then I use it and it's not full coverage, and I feel like it's simply because the pigment that goes from my skin tone is more transparent, and I feel like it's harder to have full coverage. So I think that's kind of genius to do each section of skin tones and kind of group them and say like, what does each like different skin tone need? And I don't know, I think it's really interesting and intriguing. And I'm not sure if this is my perfect foundation because I think it's supposed to be a little bit more on the matte side but still natural. And I just know I'm over matte foundations, so perhaps if they came out with one that was dewy in the future, I would be intrigued to try it. But overall, I just think that the launch and everything sounds really, really cool. And I'm excited to watch like every single review I see on it because I just thought it was interesting and different. And if you see in the picture, all the caps are different colors. That is how they are divided by skin tones. And maybe if I do see them like end up at an Ulta display, I'll swatch in store and see how I feel. Or I was gonna say get a sample, but Ulta doesn't do samples, unfortunately. But yes, definitely thought that was a really cool release. So the last thing I wanted to mention really quickly is another release that I'm excited about that I don't see purchasing right now, but maybe in the future. So Sigma actually expanded their eyeshadow base primers, which I'm so excited about because I did. They sent me the shade Persuade, which you can see on the arm here. It's like a pinky shade, and it's just not my ideal shade for priming my eyes, but it is really good. Like, I feel like shadows that I had problems like using with any other primer stuck to that primer so well. And I like it, but I don't like the shade. It is a little bit on the drying side, but I feel like I could get past that if the shade was perfect. And now the shade that I would want to use is called Sorbet. That looks like a lighter pale color. So I am excited about that because I'm currently on the hunt for my perfect eyeshadow primer. And if it's the right shade, it's a lot closer to being perfect than it was before. So I'm glad that they expanded it. And there's a few different shades now. There are some shimmery ones, which like the new one, Ignite, I think would be really pretty, like in the inner corner. And then they also have the shade Earthen, which looks to be a little bit of a deeper tone, but I'm not really sure if that would work like as a like more skin tone shade on someone with deeper skin because it does look very, very gray. And like, yeah, I'm not sure if that would work out as a actual like just skin tone eyeshadow primer, but just wanted to mention that really quickly. Okay, so that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!